Okay guys, what's going on? I'm gonna go over the recap today over my meta call that I took. So first off, let's go over how do I chart it. How did I know it was gonna bounce? I didn't know, but it's a high probability of a bounce because I'm going over the trend. You guys can see I use the EMAs that I'm using, the 8 and the 18 EMA. What I started doing right at the before pre-market to pre-market analysis was that I ended up seeing how meta was bouncing off these two ranges of area, right? 170, 169 and 166.78. So how did I get these levels? Was because I was noticing that around here you could tell how it was always rejecting, right? You could straight out see how it's rejecting this level of resistance all the time, right? So that's where I had my level. My resistance levels are right there. I don't move them. As soon as I chart them, I do not move them. Of course, yeah, I could have had another level right there on this wick or this gap, which we could put another one also. So what I do is that I have solid lines to show me those are the ranges that I'm moving in. Obviously, you could see the big range that we have the move here at a meta, right? The 155, which is the demand area. We could put a green so you guys could see. And we have a big resistance right on top where this gap fill. Alright, on gap fill 175 to 171. So this is what I had on meta, just really basic levels. I usually just delete all my levels and do them all in the morning. And so this is what I saw on meta, and I do see the EMAs had crossed over, so it tells me it's still bullish. As long as it doesn't cross below, even on the daily or 4 hour, you can see that it's bouncing off right off the EMAs and how these levels exactly reject right there where I want it. That 170, 169. If not, I could put a little more higher. It's up to you guys. It doesn't really, I just want it as precise as you guys want. There you go. We could put a little more higher there, but this is always a bounce level. You could tell how it reacts to this area at 166.71. It holds up, right? So there's buyers at that area, and when they're doing that, I see the 1 hour and it's holding off. It's literally holding off. Look at that last time what happened. Right there, you can see that it's holding off that level of that 166. Also when it bounced off here, correct? So what could happen here? Also, you could actually put a level there, but honestly it doesn't really, it's like more like a fake out, which it did. It faked out and it came back inside. So usually when it comes back inside of a range, you know that it's going to try to come back up. Usually, well, not really know, but when it holds this area, since these were all buyers, you could tell that it just came back inside to hold that level, right? So there were sellers at this range when it broke down, right? It broke down, but then it came back in, so obviously buyers took control, and we could expect it to maybe go to 170, 188, 84, because that's a big level that we found. So I checked the 15-minute to see the levels that I'm gonna need and use for the day for my targets, and I could see that the strategy here that I use is basically the range breakout of the pre-market, which is 169.15, right? 169.15 on the 15-minute, and then you could also see that around this area it's been holding, right? This is where it was holding the day before at 169, the same level that it bounced up and created buyers where they were. Also, you could see the rejection here, some rejection around this area of the close, and that's basically about it. That's all the levels that I had. So what did I do? So now I trade on the 1 minute. You could go to the 5 minutes to see if there's anything now that you're missing. And not really. So what I did is that I saw this came back down to bounce, right? I wanted to bounce at 166.78. So the first thing I did was that I went to the 1 minute. I called it out that it was bullish. I liked it bullish, and you could see exactly how the 1 minute ended up holding, right? On the 1 minute, as soon as meta opened, you could see how it ended up doing hammer. Right at the open, it did a hammer. I waited for a little more confirmation, and then there you go. It took the whole move up, so I ended up coming in on this hammer. I love using hammers, especially on bounces of the EMAs, and that's especially on the entry on the 1 minute. So look what happened. I took the entry right there. As soon as the market opened, I waited for a second candle, and I entered there. I saw the EMAs being bullish, so I entered, and I saw super aggressive bullish moves and candles. Obviously you can see no sellers coming in, and I ended up trimming around this area at 171.86 or 90, around here. I ended up trimming. I had a trim there, and then I kept holding the rest all the way to go to 175.43. I did enter around this area, I ended up exiting almost all my position on the big account, but I saw that they was creating a pennant, right? A little small pennant, bullish pennant. Obviously it's bullish because we're in the uptrend. So on the small account, ended up going in also here. As soon as it broke out at 174.70, I ended up taking it back to 175.43 just for a little small move, but it is what it is, right? So because I'm playing with two accounts, so it's really hard to switch from back and forth, and I still held this one. And yeah, this was a really perfect entry. And I took also puts on Facebook, but it wasn't around this area. I ended up taking it more on the area where I saw that it broke down, right? You can see the breakdown here, and I ended up putting a level at 173.77. So when it came back up to retest that 175.39, I took a put, where was it? Around here. I took a slight entry on the put, and then I trimmed right there, and I held the runner, and that was 2 entries for put for Meta. I took 2 entries from there to there, you know, like I had to take a while to see if it was actually gonna drop, and that's all I did. I took one more entry, but really small, right at this rejection of the EMAs of the 8 and the 18, which is what I'm using. I saw that they were still crossing down, and it's a little small bearish movement, right? So I took another entry here at 172.85, but I didn't call that one. I ended up getting my stop here at 172.11. So I took puts from here to there, another put here to there, right here at 172. So it wasn't that much, like a 15% move. Right here was probably like 30 to 50. This one at 220, 230%. So one thing I do want to tell you guys is that I do use the 1 minute, especially at the market open, and it doesn't matter what time frame you use, because if you do your levels, even on the 5 minute, you will be able to catch what's like your entries, right? You will be able to even catch an entry here. Like you can see how wicks the buyers came in, and you could have entered right at that breakout 172.14 to come and hold all the way to 175.65, and you can straight out see the rejections that are coming in here. So your entry probably would have been earlier on the 5 minute for puts, but we almost have the same entry. You could tell entry and exit, and my other entry was right there. So now for tomorrow, what I'm watching is the same levels. I'm not gonna switch them. I want to keep it at the same. Well, it could probably happen. Still right now, Meta still bullish on the bigger time frame. We're still creating higher highs, higher lows. Yeah, look, higher high, higher low. So far we wanted to break that 172.02 to probably break out and come straight all the way to 175, right? So there's 2 different scenarios depending tomorrow at market open. If this opens below, then I will wait for a rejection here to drop it back down, right, for puts. But if we do open up somewhere around this area on the top side, then I will expect the bounce to come back up. That's if we have a gap up. If not, we have that scenario, and the other one would just be that it'll break, bounce, and then come back up, you see? So that depending on tomorrow, what I see on pre-market, obviously I cannot tell you right now, but we could just see by the 1 hour, there's a lot of sellers that are holding that area at 172.05. That's what it did, that big push even on the 1 hour. You see that? It did that big drop, so I'm still expecting sellers to be holding here, 171.02. And yeah, basically that's it. I'm just waiting for that retouch of that 172.05 and probably back down all the way to 166, just to reclaim and come back to where we opened. And we also have news, so that might just chop around this area also again. It might stay here exactly like the other days. You see that? Exactly like the other days that we've been around this range at 172. It might do the same thing, just range around here until maybe the news come out, CPI data, and yeah, we should be good. Just know that I'm waiting for that 172.02 breakout or that rejection at 172.02, and if you want, you could just enter below that 170.61. I'm leaving these levels exactly how it is, and I'm just showing you the scenarios that could happen. Just be patient and look at what I like. Just like right here, I was patient enough to wait at least like 45 minutes to enter puts, and then another 30-40 minutes here to enter again. See, so I was staring at the screen for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours from market open, just waiting for my entries, and that was it. All right, you guys, so hopefully this helps you guys, and yeah, that's basically what I did, and that was the EMAs that I used, 8 and 18, and the 1 minute when the market opens. right, take care.